Thank you and welcome to our lunch session, lifting up small nonprofits. Just to go over a few housekeeping rules, please, we advise you to make sure that you mute your side, your mics, as background noise could be very distracting for fellow participants. We advise you to keep your Zoom screen and speaker view. That way you can identify the panel participants clearly. Post all your questions or comments into the chat box so we can archive them upon conclusion of the session. We expect there'll be a lot of great ideas bubbling up, so make sure you chime in and include your ideas and questions in chat. Should your signal degrade, we recommend turning your video feed off during the panel so that at least you can get the audio and visual feed. The visual and audio feed will be crisp, I should say. Okay, so with that being said, I believe we'll start right now.
Thank you, Mirtha. Welcome, everyone. Marianne Feldheim. I'm the moderator for this session, and I'm a member of the Nonprofit Advisory Board with the School of Public Administration. So the Nonprofit Advisory Board hosts this conference. We've done so for the last 19 years. And this year, we really wanted to exemplify going forward with our title of Leading Forward, Acting on Your Values, small nonprofits that were leading with their values. And Mirtha, could you take the screensaver down? Thank you. So the way it was decided was that the Nonprofit Advisory Board gave recommendations. So they submitted 9 organizations that they felt were definitely small nonprofits that were acting on their values. And with that, the committee chose, we basically looked at these, we looked at their websites, we looked at their mission, their values, and we selected the top 3. So I will tell you that New Image Youth Center, Young Fathers of Central Florida, and SALT Outreach were our top 3. So what we're going to do is each of our presenters have 5 minutes to talk about their organization, possibly 7, but we're running kind of tight on time. We have to close at 1 o'clock. And also, if you look in the program, we highlighted their organizations. There's also active links, so you can connect with them. And Shantae, we're going to start with you. Please tell us about a New Image Youth Center and mission and values.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. And I am connected to 2 devices only because one was acting different. Anyway, yes, I am the executive director of New Image Youth Center, AKA the Good in the Hood. And so we provide services in the Paramore community, and we've been here for the last 16 years. So New Image Youth Center came about, my father moved his church from the beautiful Winter Park to the Paramore community, and it was such a culture shock for me. And I remember just having a very hard time adjusting to everything that the environment produced at the time. And so there were a few kids there across the street at what is known as a corner store. And at that corner store, the kids will get in this grocery basket, and there's no grocery stores here in the Paramore community, but they would get in this grocery basket and they would push each other in the middle of the street while cars were swerving to avoid from hitting them. And I remember just yelling out, "Hey, what the heck are you doing?" And it was that one moment that entirely changed my life. And the kids came over. They began to play a game of Monopoly, because that's the only thing I had in this condemned building. Where we're located was considered condemned in every way. Our landlord was able to rent it, and we had to actually come in and gut it out to even operate it. So we began to come and play that one game of Monopoly. And the next day, my dad called and said, "You know, those kids you were playing with, they're back and they're asking for you." I thought that was the strangest thing, because growing up as a PK kid, I had always promised myself to make a whole lot of money and to, of course, help people, but not in the manner that my parents did. I never wanted to work with youth. And here we are, the kids were calling me back, and I found myself coming back every day that summer of 2004 to play Monopoly with the kids. I had $1,500 in the bank. I began to take some money out, and I purchased board games and posters and paint, and I began to to transform this little condemned area into what we called like a room, right? And so we didn't have a name, we didn't have a mission. It wasn't even, I didn't even know that it was going to turn into this, but because I would come down every day that summer, we have now turned it to the New Image Youth Center, which I have the opportunity to present to you today. Behind me is our wall of success. The reason why this is so important, because in 2004, when we first started, Paramore was known for very high dropout rates, people becoming pregnant, drugs, prostitution, all the normal, what you expect from what they call a ghetto. But it was because of the mission of New Image Youth Center, along with other organizations, that we began to work. We began to show the youth that there were different opportunities outside of what they were used to, and we pushed them towards success. So here we are, 16 years later, over 40 high school graduates. We have 13 who've already graduated from college. We have entrepreneurs. We have kids who are up and coming, and we are so excited to be able to serve the Paramore community. Now we focus on 4 key areas, and those key areas are academic success, social development, health and wellness, and our crisis intervention. Now, our crisis intervention program is something that we just started within 2 years ago, because we started recognizing that there was so much going on with our youth, not only mentally with mental health and mental illness, but also things that they just were not talking about. Things such as being kicked out of their homes, not having lights, not having food, and etc. So we started that crisis intervention because it became our 24-hour contact with our youth, that when they're in trouble, they're able to call us. So I am so excited, because out of all of the things that I was supposed to be in this world, I thought I was supposed to be a movie star, right? And I am still waiting for someone to come and get me and take me to Hollywood. But in the time being, we are so grateful to be able to serve the youth of Paramore at New Image Youth Center with over 125 youth. Of course, right now with COVID, we've had to cut down, but the ones who are not here on an everyday basis, they're still in our database, and we're still making sure that they have exactly what they need. So as many of you believe in not-for-profit work, you know the hardships, you know how ups and downs come, but even in the wake of COVID, we began to stand up and do exactly what was needed. So I know that I only had a few minutes. I don't know how much more time I have, but thank you for allowing me to share the mission of the New Image Youth Center. Thank you for choosing us as one of the not-for-profits. You got to understand, as a previous wanted to be movie star, this is an amazing moment, because I'm accepting this as our Emmy, right? But we are so happy to be able to serve all of the youth and the community and their families. And as we began to amp up our programming, we're always open, we're very innovative, we're very creative in making sure that whatever we're providing, it's what the youth and the families need at that time. So again, thank you, and I'm excited about being a part of this panel and just being with all of you.
Thank you, Shantae. And just so you all know that the New Image Youth Center, the mission is to change the path of at-risk youth through education and example. So thank you, Shantae. The next are Young Fathers of Central Florida. Haki, would you take your 5 to 7 minutes, Haki?
Okay, well, I have to use technology, and I have to tell Siri, you know, if she can time me. Okay, Siri, time 5 minutes. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Shantae, it's good to see you, and I want you to know, you might not be a star in Hollywood, but you're a star in Parahood, okay? You're a big star to us, all right? My name is Haki Nkrumah. I'm founder and president of Young Fathers of Central Florida. Young Fathers Central Florida, we opened our doors in 2005. I arrived and relocated from New York City, where I worked in fatherhood field for over 15 years. And in South Korea, while I was stationed in the military, fatherhood work there we've done. So I've been doing father work for years. And when I relocated to Florida, I didn't get a big welcome in terms of starting a nonprofit working with teen and young fathers. Fortunately enough, I met Shantae and a few other people and you know, received support and encouragement that what I wanted to do could be done here, because there were no other young fatherhood initiatives in the entire state of Florida, not just in Central Florida, but the entire state. So coming here with just my own money not knowing one person in the entire state of Florida in 2005. I had this, when you talk about starting from the ground floor, we had to start from the very beginning. So I knocked on doors day by day and stayed in this hot Florida weather and continued to build organization from 2 programs, Father Support Group and Teen Parenting Parent Training Program, to now we have 10 programs. We are clearly across the country the teen and young fatherhood organization that most organizations across the country look to. We've established programs in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Los Angeles, California, Newark, New Jersey. We have Young Fathers of South Florida and in Atlanta, Georgia. So, and we hold the only and largest teen and young fatherhood conference in the nation. Now we went from calling it the National Teen Father Conference to the International Father Conference, since we've had over 6 other countries attend our conference, which is held here in Orlando, Florida, every year, every February. Since 2015, I'm not going to run the statistics, but we partnered with Child Support, the Florida Department of Revenue, and we've helped bring in over $10 million of back child support that wasn't going to children or their families. Over 2,000 to 2,500 jobs, or 2,000 and 2,500 jobs. 1,500 young men getting back to school, whether it's college, whether it's high school diploma or GED program. So our stats, we can go over them, but they're very, very extensive. But the one we're really proud of is partnering with Child Support to bring so much money to the families who have not been receiving them. We've had guys who never paid arrears, never paid child support in their lives. In our parent training program, we started out with just fathers, but now we have mothers, grandparents. We have the entire family involved in our training programs. And fortunately, we just received funding from Orange County Citizens Commission for Children, working with parents of single parents, co-parenting. So we're working with the entire family now. We're still focusing on fathers, but we are working with the entire families, because we realize after our research and our community surveying that there are a lot more young men, young fathers and young mothers who are living together, who are working together, cohabitating, because we normally take the myth that most of our young parents are estranged from one another, but we find that that's not the case. So some of our other programs, we have a dad-to-dad mentoring program where we mentor an older dad with the younger dad for a 1-year commitment. We have our Gents to Gentlemen program, which is an etiquette and character development program for 10 to 13-year-old boys. We have our Teen Fatherhood Academy program, which is for high school students. We have our Fatherhood Institute. We started in 2013 at Bethune-Cookman University. Also in 2013, we did something that hasn't been done in the country. We began providing young fatherhood training in Orange County Correctional Facility. We have our parent training and support. We have our Young Fathers Initiative that we have in the city of Orlando community centers. So these are just some of the programs that we have, and they've all developed. They're all at least 10 years old, 10 years running. So we're very proud of the programming. We're very proud of our conferences, and we're proud that Orlando is seen across this country as the place when it comes to teen and young fatherhood parenting. So we're very proud of that. And we're very proud of to participate with Orange County Citizens or Commission for Children in supporting a lot of our programming and a lot of our efforts.
Thank you, Hakeem. Thank you very much. Just so everyone has it, that the mission of Young Fathers of Central Florida is to provide young fathers with supportive community-based resources that assist them in actively participating in the lives of their children and families. And as I said before, we have highlighted all of these 3 nonprofits in the program, and there are active links. So Eric Camilla Amarillo, will you please tell us about SALT Outreach? And you can unmute yourself and you've got the floor.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Haki and Shantae, we just moved in your backyard, so I'll share a little bit. You know, it'll be good. It was good to hear about what you guys are doing. I'm excited to share too. I'm honored that the advisory board would choose us to be here with everybody, so thank you. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
No. Yes, you can. Okay. All right. So so I'm going to zoom through this, no pun intended. You know, I know that we have short time, so SALT Outreach is the name of the organization. Our mission statement is to exemplify the character of Christ through relational evangelism, meeting the needs of the community, equipping them for service, and fostering spiritual growth. I'll share a story in a little bit on how I believe we've been exemplifying our values through our mission statement here in a little bit, but I just want to give you kind of brief overview. We provide a mobile day service center for the homeless. So we actually meet the homeless where they are, providing basic services. We have a van that pulls our clothing trailer. Our clothing trailer provides clothing and hygiene products. We have a truck that pulls our shower trailer, has 4 bathrooms, provides showers and bathroom use to the homeless. And then this has a box truck. We don't quite have that yet. We're actually getting a bus donated to us by an electric bus company named Proterra. We'll be retrofitting it to have lockers to provide storage service to the homeless. And then we also just made a down payment on a laundry trailer, have 6 washers and 6 dryers for the homeless.
Hey,
So
Eric.
we'll be, yes.
My name is Danielle. Thank you for doing this. We do not see your screen right now, and I bet you're showing some pretty cool pictures of what you have going on. So I just wanted to let you know, because we would love to see those pictures. Thanks.
Okay, that's weird. Let me see.
There we go. Now we see it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so did you see? Okay, so yeah, this is the breakdown of the vehicles. All right. So yeah, that's let's see. I'll just go to the next slide here. I know I'm getting short on time. So here's a summary of the services we offer. We, as I mentioned, showers. We also provide haircuts, clothing, food, hygiene products. We have a 15-passenger van that we use for shuttling if we need to. We provide mail services, and we're interviewing case managers now to provide diversion and case management services to the homeless. As I mentioned, the bus and the laundry trailer are kind of pending right now. And I want to just share a story, take the rest of the time to share a story of you. And this is a prime example of what we want to do with, I guess, a model example of how we want to be able to change the lives of those that we serve. This guy on the right here, his name is Pat. When we met him, it was at the beginning of 2019. He had volunteered with us. He was someone that was homeless, and he would go and he'd take a shower, and he was so grateful that he would volunteer with us every time we did outreach, and he would clean the showers after each person has showered, which was a huge help for us, and also it was a great way to build a relationship with him. He became part of the family. This is us celebrating his birthday with him back in 2019. You know, we went and had dinner with him, and we'd spend time with him outside of the outreach, and he would never ask for anything in return. He was very genuine guy. We loved him. And when we started hiring employees back in March, it was only natural that we would hire Pat. As soon as we hired him, we developed a partnership with the Hilton Orlando. We were able to get him off the street, and he had a bed to sleep in, and we were planning to transition him to his own place after that partnership with the Hilton Orlando ended. They were providing rooms to our staff so that they don't have to go home right after outreach and potentially bring, you know, a virus home or COVID-19 home to their family, some of their family being immune compromised. So so this is him during the time of COVID. Him and another employee of ours would travel to Lakeland and offer showers out there at one point. And this is him taking a picture with us here in Orlando after an operation with our staff. And so something started to happen with Pat. He started to lose weight in July. No, I'm sorry, in June, dramatically, a lot of weight. And we were very worried about him. We asked him to get checked out. He kept refusing. He's like, no, I'm good, I'm good. And when he went to the hospital, our employee here, Carlos, they went together. And the doctor told him that he had stage 4 lung cancer that had metastasized and spread to his leg. And so we were devastated. He gave kind of a goodbye on Facebook. He didn't have much time to live, unfortunately. And this is us with him a week before he passed. One of his last requests was to be baptized. And so this was another room. We were moving him closer to where the hospital was. And we called a pastor, and he was baptized in the bathtub of his room. And this is all of us there, just kind of spending some time with him after the baptism. This is my wife, and me and her. He moved to hospice shortly after that. This is the day before he passed. We said a prayer with him, and we the next day, one of our other board members went, very close to Pat, went, and he died holding her hand. Pat, we were literally about to transition him into his own place, and until we found all of this that happened. But I believe it really exemplifies what we stand for, how we worked with Pat.
Eric, thank you. We've run out of time, but
okay.
Thank you for sharing that touching story.
Mm-hmm.
We have all of 6 minutes for people to ask questions. If you put them in the chat, or if you want to share some other pieces, and maybe we could take down the sharing of the screen. Eric, we could just then see the speaker.
I'm trying to get rid of it. Oh, here you go. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Seeing my whole to-do list there. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I don't see any questions in the chat. Is there anyone who would like to either raise their hand or ask a question? So then I will ask one. I'm going to ask each of our speakers for like a 1 minute. What would you tell someone who is either starting a nonprofit or has a passion that they want to connect with someone on the work that's being done? So Shantae, we'll start with you, just a brief minute, and then we'll go to Haki and Eric.
Yes, what I would suggest is definitely paying attention to partnerships and collaborations. We personally would not be able to provide all of the programs that we're providing if it was not for our amazing partners and people who are joining forces with us. So look or pay attention to those who are doing something similar to what you would like to do or you're about to do. Partner with them, become familiar with their mission, and see how you will be able to help each other.
Thank you, Shantae. Haki?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. What Shantae said exactly. And one experience that I've had with developing the program, and when I'm asked to go across the country and help other cities develop fatherhood programs, is that you have to listen to the community, what the community needs. So what the community in Orlando need might not be the same needs in Chicago or Detroit. So you have to listen to the community, do surveying, find out what's needed. That's how your programs are sustained. We wouldn't have been able to last 15 years if we weren't doing what the community needed, the programs. When they asked for a program for 10 to 13-year-old boys, a prevention program, we developed Just a Gentleman. So you have to partnership, like Shantae said, but listen to the community. Don't do what you want to do. Develop the programs that the community needs.
Thank you, Haki. Eric, words of wisdom?
Yeah, just to add on top of what they shared, because those are very important and key factors. I just want to say that I started this organization when I was 22, 23 years old. I had no education in nonprofit management. I didn't know what I was doing. I had to use YouTube and Google to figure out how to start the organization. That being said, don't let anything stop you. If you have a passion for something, you might mess up a few times. We messed up a lot. You know, just go for it. Don't be afraid. You know, if you fall, just get back up. That's my advice.
Thank you, Eric. The other piece that I would point out in our remaining 2+ minutes is that Eric is a graduate of both the undergraduate, he has an undergraduate degree in social work, he has a master's in nonprofit management. So he did at the undergrad level take nonprofit courses. So UCF does offer courses, it does offer a certificate, and you can take at both the graduate and undergraduate level, you can take one course at a time. So part of what we do is service learning, so where you actually take coursework and apply it to your own organization, so you can develop your own strategic plan with help from your instructor and from the class. So there are other opportunities out there for assistance as you are working with this. And certainly the Center for Public and Nonprofit Management has lots of offerings that would also help. So with that, I would like to thank our wonderful panelists and congratulations to all 3 of you. We are so proud of all you have done. You definitely exemplify the idea of taking your values and leading with them and making change and changing the world. So please carry on. We are thrilled with what all that you're doing, and we look forward to seeing you in other sessions. And very shortly, Mirtha will be ending this session. Thank you, Mirtha.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just to let you all know, we are now going into our afternoon sessions. So please mind or make sure you look over the session that you registered for the afternoon. And if you haven't, go on to the program sheet with the colored links, and they are hyperlinked for those sessions. You can simply click on those hyperlinks, and it will register for those sessions in the afternoon. Okay, just a little housekeeping for you all who are doing the afternoon sessions.